Earlier this year, Taylor came out with the 14 CE and the 24 CE. Kind of confusing names for very affordable guitars that now represent the lowest price for a full-size guitar in the entire Taylor lineup, and a huge value if you're shopping around the $500 price range. Today, we finally get to compare the 14 CE to the 114 CE, find out what you're getting and what you're giving up for the price. Stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you want to support the channel, you can visit our spring store link below for custom swag. Check out the podcast, Fretboard Confessional, wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, buy things from us. We ship all over the country. Sometimes there's tax benefits. Hit us up. We want to help you out. In doing so, we are doing a comparison video today. We're looking at this guitar. This is Taylor's 14 CE. Now, the 14 CE and the 24 CE runaway hits as soon as they launched, to the surprise of no one. You can get a full-size Taylor for $499 and the 14 CE $599 for the 24 CE, which is the mahogany top version. An acoustic electric guitar at that with a gig bag. I mean, people were running into the store. There was a line outside. I'm kidding. That was further down the street where they were giving away free ice cream. But nevertheless, there was a line, and you should have been lining up for this because it's such a good value in a guitar for $500, $500 to $600 depending upon the model. It represents Taylor quality, acoustic electric, solid top guitar with a gig bag. It's a really, really good deal. So we immediately sold out. And what that means is that we didn't really get to do comparisons. But we've been restocked, and now we get to compare it to this guy, which is going to look somewhat similar. This is the 114 CE. Now, this had been for many years the lowest priced full-size guitar in Taylor's lineup. Since then, there have been some other iterations. The Academy series has been priced below it for much of its life, although I think that's no longer the case for the E models, coming at about the same. So you can get the Academy 10, which is kind of a smaller size dreadnought, or the Academy 12, which is a grand concert body with bevels and pickups and all of that stuff. But there's still a case to be made for this particular guitar, and in this comparison particularly because it is a grand auditorium. Both of these are the most popular body shape Taylor makes. And why is the grand auditorium so popular? It's simple. It is an extremely versatile guitar body shape. It is just as wide and deep as a traditional dreadnought, but it has a tighter waist and is strung with lighter gauge strings, which makes it feel like a smaller guitar when you're sitting down and in the playing experience. It handles finger picking very, very well. It gives you a more focused high end to complement that, and you can do strumming and flat picking just fine on one of these guitars. So the Grand Auditorium is a popular body shape for lots of reasons, and it's why, frankly, it's being copied by a lot of manufacturers at this point. So the 114 CE has been a very popular body for a long time, a very popular model. It also comes with a gig bag. It also comes with a solid top. Now, over the years, there have been differences that have developed in this lineup, and as of right now, both of these guitars feature a solid torrefied spruce top with C-class bracing, which is the cantilevered kind of half of V-class bracing that they started utilizing in their Made in Mexico guitars. Here's what's really the big difference here, okay? If you look at the neck of these, this one has a traditional heel, and this one looks more like a Strat. That's the big difference. Now, this heel design kind of ended up becoming what we used to call the NT neck or the Taylor neck design, and it started here. It started on a baby Taylor with this kind of just paddle neck that is mounted into the block of this, this neck block of this guitar with drywall wood screws. I kid you not. Does it work? I have a 25-year-old, almost 26-year-old baby Taylor that says yes, it does work. I've never had any problems with that guitar whatsoever. So the design is sound, and it's more affordable to manufacture, and so it allows Taylor to get this guitar at this price. Now this, you could argue, is a stronger neck joint. Again, I've never had problems with my baby Taylor, but you can argue it is. It's also the neck joint that they have on their more expensive guitars. It has shims under the heel and under the fretboard. It's bolted on, and it allows a tailor technician to utilize shims to rotate the angle of the neck within 0.02 of an inch. There's a lot of benefits to this. What else has changed? So tops are the same. Back and sides are both Sapele back and sides, but you might notice a contrast happening with the 114 CE that the 14 CE does not have. And that is, this has binding and this one does not. Now, much like the GS Mini, that doesn't have binding. The Baby Tailors don't have binding. Lots of models in the lower lineup don't have binding. Binding is kind of both decorative and potentially protective, mostly for the top. The back and sides being layered or laminate in this particular case means that they're very robust and they're very sound as you move around. A lot of times these guitars are going to go to someone who's maybe starting out, and it wouldn't be uncommon for you to bump your guitar from time to time because you're learning how to navigate with the instrument. So the back and sides are going to be fine. The top, on the other hand, being a solid piece of spruce, is a bit more fragile and more exposed. Binding can help a guitar from getting too much damage from a hit, causing any kind of tear out from the grain or cracking. It's protected pretty well from the side anyway, but I have to go and say that that's a product of binding or use of it outside of the ornamentation that it provides, the contrast of the color and kind of a finished look. So there you go. Now, if you don't think binding's that important, then great. You don't think binding's that important. If you don't care about the look of binding or non-binding, also good for you, because this costs less money. So the other differences here, the materials for the fingerboard and bridge are different. This is utilizing smoked eucalyptus, and this looks darn like ebony. I remember there was someone asking at one point on the internet if it was like a plastic bridge. I don't know who started that rumor, but it is very much wood and not plastic. You have different pickups, which we're going to talk about. And of course, coming up here, the headstocks are very, very similar. The logos are very, very similar. They're just overlaid on top of the paddle headstock. They both have scarf joints. They both have maple necks instead of mahogany necks or sapele necks. And since it's a common question, yes, the backs on these do not have bracing, and they have a slight bowl shape to them. Since it's layered wood, that shape can be pushed into the back of the guitars, providing it with the rigidity it needs without additional bracing, so that it can make the guitars lighter in that particular case, and help project a little bit more. So, the other big thing which we're going to showcase is, you notice no knobs here. There are knobs here. The 14 CE utilizes a Fishman sonotone pickup with sound hole controls, whereas the 114 CE has Taylor's ES2 pickup system. And I just want to point out, it is the exact same pickup system that is used on a 314, 414, 514, 614, 714, 724, 814, 914, on up, as long as it has CE at the end of the lineup. So currently that ES2 pickup system that you have here is what's going to be in guitars that cost thousands more. So your plugged-in experience would be the same with the 114 CE. The Fishman pickup system that's in the 14 CE is a perfectly fine pickup system. It's an undersaddle pickup system. If you're familiar with those, they have a particular tone to them, and it's very simple, unobtrusive controls in the sound hole with volume and tone. Now, a benefit you might say, since this has sound hole mounted controls and it's a Fishman system, is that you could change this out to something else without modifying the guitar. You could take out the Fishman and you could put in an Eller Baggs element. You could put in a K&K. There's no holes in the side of the guitar. There's no modification that's going to be needed. You would just remove one system and put the other system in. I would argue if you're going to do that, why are you buying a $499 guitar? Because just one of those pickup systems is $200 on its own. But it can be done. In fact, I'll say that because when the Big Babies first came out, I remember at that time, there was no GS Mini. It was an extremely affordable, larger than Baby Taylor guitar, and people went nuts for them and customized them a lot. So, to each their own. So here's what we're going to do. That's the breakdown of these two guitars as far as the build that's different. And what separates them is about $300. So we're going to play both of them. acoustically and plugged in, so you can hear if they sound different acoustically, and also if they sound different with the pickups, which they're going to, and you can decide which one you like best. So check it out. Okay, so there you have it. 14 CE versus 114 CE. To add the 1, you pay $300. Now the 24 CE represents kind of an oddity because there's not a 124 CE currently in the Taylor lineup. There are mahogany top GS Minis, but there's not a mahogany topped 100 series at this time. So, you know, if you like that particular tone, then that might make the decision a lot clearer. By the way, I'm not holding the 114 CE because I consider it the winner in the comparison. I just was tired of holding both guitars and I already held the 14 CE. So, you know, equal time and all of that. So I will tell you, I had this conversation with someone in store recently who came in to purchase the guitar as a gift. And there was a discussion between which one would be better. And I basically broke it down the way I just shared it with y'all. This is a more expensive guitar. There are more steps to producing the guitar, and you can argue it has a better pickup, it has a better, more robust and adjustable neck joint. Now, is the neck joint adjustable on the 14CE? Yes. Is it as easily adjustable? Not really. So there's benefit there with the neck joint. There's benefit with the pickup. They both come with nice bags. I think the 114 is a little bit better. For the pickup alone, if I could afford the additional $300, I would probably get the 114 CE. I think the ES2 is a great pickup system, especially if you know how to utilize it. We've done videos on that, so if you ever have trouble with your ES2, check out that video. I've talked with people over the phone. I remember there was a gentleman who called. I think Taylor had me call, or had him call me. He had talked to Taylor. He had talked to a bunch of people, and then he called me back. He's like, "You're a genius," and I will take it. I will take all of the accolades, none of the blame, everybody. Okay, so it's a great pickup system. It's a great guitar. This has worked well, and with the torfaction and the bracing, I really, really like this guitar. That being said, it's an entirely different price point at $800. So if you are looking to get a guitar at around the $500 price point, it is really, really difficult to find something that's going to play as well and have the mix of specifications that the 14CE gives you. You will find guitars that are glossy, that have inlay, that are bound, and have all sorts of pickup systems available to them. I would argue almost every one you pick up is probably not going to play as well. Are they going to sound as well? That's up to your ears. So let us know in the comments what you think between this comparison. I find the 14 and 24, though they have confusing names, to be very compelling guitars. And I think they have a place in the lineup, and I don't think the 114 is going anywhere given the value it offers at its price. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new to our channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, comment, share, all of that stuff. Help us grow our subscriber base. Let's get to 1 million like Anderton's just did. It took them a while. Maybe we can do it faster with your help, of course. And if you are interested in any of these guitars, make sure that you visit us online at alamomusic.com. You can chat with us, or you can call us, and we can help you find the right guitar to suit your needs. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.